So hello guys and welcome back to the channel. My name is Max and I'm going to tell you guys today about how I have been making money online for the past few years and how you can do the same. Okay, so some background information on this. I started doing online work. I started researching about online work back in 2015 when I was still a college student. I didn't actually get any jobs online until 2016. The first thing that you need to get work online is you need a skill. So the skill that I used to earn money online is writing. I write stories, I write essays, I write articles sometimes, but that isn't what you're going to be focusing on today. The first thing that I'm just going to tell you to do, you need to do a lot of research first. You can research for yourself. I'm going to tell you the sites that I've used that have worked for me, but you're going to have to do some research because I know there are other sites, freelancing sites, that I have not used myself. When I first started searching, there was this one site. It was the first site that came up. I think it was the best site at the time, although I think that's changed now, but since that was 5 years ago, it was the best site. The site is called Upwork. And the problem with Upwork is that it is very competitive. If you want to get into Upwork, you have to have a skill. Not only do you need a skill, but you need a skill in high demand that does not already have a lot of sellers. So there's actually attempted like 5 different times, I think, to access the site. I would try to register and I would be rejected because for my writing, for the work that I do in writing, there are other many people also offering the same services. And even when I gained more experience that I could add to my, let's say, resume, for lack of a better word, when I added more experience that I could add to my resume, I still was unable to get into Upwork. But the best part about Upwork is that it seems like they have very good job offers. A lot of the job offers that I would see there had a good payout, and I think most of them were being awarded to the sellers, because there's some sites where you have people advertising a job and you can apply for the job, but the job expires or the job is never given to anyone, it's just closed. For the few that do end up being awarded, the chances that you'll be the one to receive that job are very low. So if you get the chance to try Upwork, like there are different skills that are needed in online work. Like I do writing, but there are also other things like marketing, web design. If you know how to design websites, that's actually very in demand at the moment. It was in demand back then and it's still in demand now. I almost learned how to create websites just so I could do those jobs. But if it's not something you think you can do, don't try to force it. Just find something that comes to you naturally, or you can try and learn a certain skill. Like there are jobs where you need to know how to use Microsoft Excel, just to add one thing, because I did also try something like that, but I wasn't able to. Of course there are simple jobs that you can just find online. Things like, if you just search, there are so many advertisements about online typing. I don't know if this is real or not, because I have tried applying for typing jobs and I have never managed. I have also tried survey jobs, filling in surveys, watching ads. Things like those do not help you, so try. I mean, you can attempt them if you like. I did try them and they gave me nothing. They wasted my time, they gave me nothing back. So I do advise you to not go that route, but you can try it if you would like. So Upwork didn't work for me, but it is a very good site. It's very protected for both sellers and buyers, as far as I know. I haven't actually used it myself. I've only seen the website. So the second website that I would tell you to take a look at for freelancing, this one actually worked for me so well. It was one of the first few that I applied to. I know when I started, I applied to Upwork, and then I applied to this one before I found others. So this one is called Guru.com. Guru.com is a freelancing site like Upwork. They're actually both very similar, but I think Guru is slightly lower than Upwork. So on Guru, a seller account and a buyer account are separate. So if you want to sell on Guru, you have to open a seller account. or a freelancer account. I'm not sure how they call it because it's been some time. They do allow you to post. You can, if you, whatever service you're offering, you can post the service. But how this site works, people don't look for the freelancers. People post jobs on this site, and your job is to go and look for those jobs. The jobs are divided into categories, and you go for, and you search the categories where your skill falls under. For example, my category is of course writing, so I search for writing jobs. The jobs are usually just put in order there. So what you do after you check, so you search the categories, you're supposed to open a job and you send a proposal for that job. There are going to be other people sending proposals to the same job, so I'll be talking in depth about the individual sites I've used in a different video. This one is just in general. So once you've sent your proposal, just send proposals to as many jobs as you think you can handle. And what the heck am I saying? When the job listings come after you search for your category, you open the jobs that you think you can manage. You send proposals for those jobs. If the client sees the proposal and wants to contact you for more information, they can, but it doesn't mean they're going to be awarded a job. So it actually took me a while, even on Guru, to get any actual job, but I think that was the second place I got my job. I got a job. I got my second job on guru.com. The next site I would tell you to go and take a look at, one site that I've used that actually, I no longer use it. I'm still on there, but I just don't use it anymore. It's called People Per Hour. I think I just link them all in the description so you can go and check them out yourself from there. So peopleperhour.com, I'm not sure, but I believe it's UK based. I'm not entirely sure, I never checked. People Per Hour is different from Guru and Upwork in that, yes, you will find that people post jobs and you can go to those jobs and you send a proposal or a quote for the job. But in the case of People Per Hour, you can also set up gigs. They call them hourlies on PPH. You can set up an hourly and you give the service that you provide, you give a time limit, and you give the cost. I think my first job was actually from PPH. It was a short job, about $50. I didn't even do a lot. So yeah, it does have some reach. What else can I say about PPH? Check out People Per Hour. I think I've done Upwork. Site number 4 now. So there were actually other sites that I did attempt and they didn't give me that many returns. There's one called freelancer.com. I opened an account for this. It was one of the accounts that I opened, and I got one job on that site. The problem with this site is that you need to have at least $50 in your account to be able to withdraw, and I only ever got one job in about 3 years. So in 3 years I had $30 in that account and I was unable to withdraw it. I did manage to send money to that account so I can withdraw the amount, and I eventually closed that account. It did not work for me. The problem with freelancer.com is that people post jobs, and yes, you do send proposals like the others that I've said, but the issue with this one, you can actually see what everyone else is proposing, the cost, the time limit, all of that. So you see that some of these things are super competitive, and if you want to get a job on any of these sites, you have to have good qualifications and competitive pricing. And I think freelancer.com had a lot of freelancers from countries where they can afford to bring the cost down. If you go to a job and you send in your own proposal and it's a bit high, people can just skip over it. I think I applied close to 50 jobs and I only got one. And the main reason I got that one job was because someone wanted to write a story. And I had a written book that I was selling. It was just a short thing, around 7,000 words. That's like 14 pages in Microsoft Word. And they bought that for $30. So that transition happened immediately. I think that was the reason I actually got that job, because I never got any other job there. And actually most of the jobs there were never awarded. You would see that a job is posted and you send a proposal, then you wait. In the end, you're told that the job was closed. No freelancer was awarded the job. So freelancer.com, you can give it a try if you like. They do actually have a lot of typing jobs, but I would not recommend it. Right, it did not work for me. Another freelancing site that I've also used, this one actually worked out. This one is actually the easy of all the sites. I believe this is the easiest to use. It's called Fiverr.com. I believe a lot of people by now would know about Fiverr. Maybe not everyone, but Fiverr is basically a site where if you are a seller, you post your services, and they call them gigs. They can be as low as $5, but they can also go a lot higher. So if you have something simple you think you can do for that amount, like I have ghostwriting gigs on there. I have writing gigs on there, and they post them at 1,000 words for $5. I think one thing I haven't talked about on this site, I'm going to be talking about them individually anyway, but if you're depending on the site you go to, they don't do your taxes for you. I believe in, depending on which country you are in. I'm in Kenya, so they do not do my taxes. They don't need any tax forms from me, but some, if you're, for example, if you're an American and Guru.com, I believe they do require your tax forms. So for me, taxation is something that you handle yourself. So you have to look into that. At first I didn't know, but my dad talked to me about it because he's an accountant. So yeah. The thing about this freelancing sites, they're going to all be different. But when you start, you have to know that the site takes a percentage of what you earn as something like the facilitation fee for you being on the site, for you advertising your services, and for you offering services on their site. Some of them are higher, some are lower. I think Guru used to be the lowest when I first started out, and the highest, PPH was high, but it wasn't so much the highest. I was actually mostly just on those two sites, PPH and Guru.com, but recently I did try, I think just 2017. 2017 I applied for an account on Fiverr.com, and I set a few gigs. Now the best part about Fiverr.com, there are so many people there because most of the services are relatively cheap. So there is a high demand for jobs on there, and if you have one of those high demand skills, you can actually, I wouldn't recommend trying to make a living on just one site or on just freelancing when you start out. You have to have a plan. I didn't have a plan because I was still schooling, and right now I'm not even finished with university yet. So I'm also still schooling. I'm still in university, but I'm earning money while in university. So I'm not bothering my parents as much. There is this stigma against Fiverr because the services are so cheap, but you don't have to worry about that because it does still have a lot of buyers. So I think those are all the sites that I do use at the moment. I'll be talking about them more in depth in separate videos. Let me start with Fiverr.com since it's the simplest to use. I think they also have an app, so you can use the app. So it's gotten darker. I had to put on the light just to finish this video, but I wanted to add a few things. If you want to get into freelancing, I'm just going to say that you need, number one, internet connection. You don't need a Wi-Fi at home specifically. I didn't have a Wi-Fi starting out. I would do my work at home and I would post through my phone using airtime bundles, or I would go to a cyber cafe and send my jobs there. But depending on the type of job you're doing, you can work from your phone or you can work using a computer. So if you have a computer, if you have a phone, if you have internet access, whether it's through Wi-Fi or going to a cyber cafe or even just using internet bundles on your phone, as long as you have that access, you can get into freelancing. Also, a recommendation. I know I said like freelancer.com, don't attempt it, but different things work for different people. So I would recommend, if you want to go into freelancing and you want to make the most out of it, search for several freelancing accounts and open an account with every single one that you can find. I opened an account with, I think, around 6 or 7 different freelancing sites. Some of them never got me anything. Those accounts are still there, but I don't use them. Depending on your skill, some of the sites that didn't work for me could work for you. I do recommend you do a lot of research yourself. but you should at least apply to all of these. Some of these jobs are simple things you can just do on the side. They don't have to take over all of your time. You can do freelancing as a side job. If you already have a job, you can just do freelancing on the side, depending on what skills you're applying. Some clients are okay with good quality work, even if it takes a while. So it doesn't need to take so much time out of your main job. Or if, for example, you're a student, you can still do this. Here's one way of making money online that I've been finding on the internet that I think I will talk about in a separate video. It's through use of ebooks. Through selling ebooks on Amazon. I have tried selling ebooks on Amazon. After all, I'm a writer, but I will tell you that it's not going to be easy. I do not recommend you do it, but you can attempt it if you would like. I will talk about ebooks in a different video. I will talk about everything to do with writing in a separate video after I'm done with the freelancing accounts. So yeah, that's the video. I do apologize if this video wasn't very upbeat. I just wanted to get all the information out there. I don't know if I said everything, and I started a bit later than I planned because I haven't been feeling all that well this week. One last thing I will say about freelancing is that you do not need to be super skilled. I've said that before. You don't need to be super skilled. But you do need to have skills that match the availability of jobs online. They're going to be simple jobs, like the typing ones that I've mentioned. I think those, because they're so simple, they will have a lot more competition. So it's better if you have some skill you think you can use. Like, it's not even that hard to find a skill. If you have good social media reach, like if your social media has a lot of followers and you get good responses for your posts, you can actually attempt. I'm not saying you do this, you see if advertising on your social media pages is something you can do, because it may not work for everyone. If you don't build a social media specifically for advertising, it may actually backfire on you. So you do have to be careful in that. So all you really need to do when it comes to freelancing, just research all the jobs that are available online and see if you have the skills to match some of the skills, or just the skills to match some of these jobs. Okay, that's the end of the video. I'll be talking about the freelancing sites individually from this point. I think I just do 3 separate ones for PPH, Guru.com, and Fiverr, and I'll talk about Upwork, Freelancer.com, and other freelancing sites I attempted before. But you can I really do just recommend you do research for yourself. There are so many opportunities online. So if you can't even if it doesn't pan out, you can just apply for all of these sites. It doesn't cost you anything. Most of them. There are some that you do have to pay to be part of, but I don't recommend you try those. Look for sites where you can just have a free account. They only cost you after you've made a job and you've been paid for that job. They cut their share from what you earn, but they don't cost you anything. And I do also recommend, if you're going into online work, most of these sites are US based or just based outside. If you're already in the US, that's good for you. If you're in a country like in the UK, I suppose that's also good for you, because the way they pay, there's usually a direct bank transfer, and I don't think, for example, the Kenyan bank, I tried to link my accounts. It was completely impossible. It didn't work. I don't know, it may work for you, so you can still attempt it, but it didn't work for me. Open a PayPal account if you want to earn money online. PayPal is the easiest way to receive money, and if you're in Kenya, PayPal also now offers direct M-Pesa withdrawals. It has been since, I think, last year, but if you don't want to go that route, Equity Bank also allows the same. So yeah, that's the end of the video. I'll see you guys in the next video. You can follow our Facebook, follow my sister's Instagram account. So please subscribe to the channel. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Is there anything I want to add? I don't know.